Hello folks, this is Hidden Numismatist back at you with another video on my channel here. Initially, when I did my Washington Quarters album, I did all the silvers from 32 to 64 in average circulated. I just bought dealer's rolls, junk, silver, what have you, and did this album from 32 to 64 all in circulated. And then from 65 forward, I was able to do all those in unk, including all the silver proofs and the cloud proofs. But then recently, the last 2 years or so, I started buying out smaller collections that had a lot of unk Washington Quarters in them. And I got also inspiration from a young man by the name of J. Parker Silver Stacker. It was a wonderful channel, growing numismatic channel here on YouTube. And I'll link the gentleman's channel in the description box below. And he inspired me because he's doing this album, all in unk. He's doing all this 32 to 64s, especially in unk, in Mint State 60. And that inspired me, that young man inspired me to redo this album that was done, if you know. But, you know, when you can do an album and it's completely in unk, there you go. So let's get started. And then along the way, I got some cool varieties and what have you, and some B reverses that also are going to be portrayed here. The gentleman that designed this beautiful quarter for us is John Flanagan. Many of you know I like to put my the photo of the designer. Pretty chill. I love the look on their face. Come on, take the picture, man, as if they're saying. Very chill person. Awesome. You did a great job, brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Flanagan. Now, all of these are not blast white, but they are unk. This is dirty. This I can upgrade that, but it is in unk. And the 32 DNS, these are the keys. And these were average circulated. I moved these two to my United States double roll 2x2 box. I'm keeping the circulated ones, but these are my unks. 34, beautiful original album toning, developing. 34 Denver. As I said, from 32 to 64, they're 90% silver. And then from 65, 66, and 67, they did the special mint sets. And then from there, it's a disaster because then they didn't do any in proof. I mean, in silver, you know, for circulation. Now, some of these can be upgraded over time, but this is an unk album. I mean, they're not high mint state, you know, 65, 66, anything crazy like that. Because, you know, I'll show you in a moment here, folks, on the gray sheet, which I have in front to my left here. You know, when you start even jumping from 62 to 63, what have you, 63 to 64, they get stupid expensive. So that's the year my daddy was born. Every time I see 1938, it makes me stop and think. San Francisco. A little bit of spot toning here. And like I said, when I see dealers' inventory that they have a nicer, cleaner one, then I will upgrade. Quickly show you the reverses on these beautiful coins. I love the heraldic eagle. And the mint mark is always right above the R. That was a Denver. This is satisfying. So I thank you, J. Parker, Silver Stacker, Mr. Parker, for giving me the encouragement and desire to pull this out of the safe, pull all the 32s, the 64s out. You know, just keep the keys because they always do well. And do this album in unk. Because as you all agree and understand, and I've stated across my channel, give me any coin in unk and put it in a good album like this and let it develop original toning. And they're delicious coins. This is a relatively easy set to do in unk, my friends. Nothing crazy. But like I said, to do the 32 DNS in unk is a little bit pricey. So you save back for that. But get it when you can. You know, all keys, semi-keys, always get those first, as they state. Numismatics, I'm going to try to do them in chunks of 4 here so that, you know, we don't make the video too long, you know. Because outside of coins, we have lives, unfortunately. Wish we could sit and play around with our coins all day. Wouldn't that be nice? So, what an accomplishment. Like I said, whoop-de-doo, not a big deal, yet still, you know, I love my coins. So if I can do an album in unk, I'm going to do it. And especially when you have fellow numismatists that are doing this album from scratch in unk, and you're like, man, you know what? Mr. Parker, you son of a gun, you encouraged me, brother, to pull this out and do this in unk. I just lost the currency flip. Oh well, whoop-de-doo. Let's see, 50s. Get unsightly toning, spot toning. Nothing that, and maybe, you know, some of these can be dipped. I'll take him to one of my good local coin shops here in town, and they'll dip him for me for a few seconds, and pat dry, it'll be a blast white unk. Even though I'm sure I can do it, I like to leave that to professional numismatists that have been doing it for 40, 50 years. Even though I'm no kid in this hobby. Well, I am 5 years old, but that's beside the point. You know, been doing this for a minute, but still I would rather, if they're beautiful coins, I don't want to mess up Mr. Washington, President Washington, our very first president. I love the hues that they take. Like this has like an orange yellow, very subtle orange yellow over here as well. I like how they gracefully tone, or as they would say, gracefully age, you know. You know, as we age as human beings, we turn out to be kind of more beautiful, if you know what I mean. Good age marks. Beautiful quarters. And then in 98, that ended, the heraldic eagle ended. And in 99, they started doing the territories and statehood quarters. The first quarter was Delaware, I believe, but that's for a separate video. I have those, of course, but I like to do the videos in order. So start with Washington, which was first struck in 1932. And if I remember correctly, this was actually meant to be a commemorative coin, the Washington quarter. But I'm glad that they struck it for commerce, for business. So pretty soon here in 64, that's where the 90% end. Boom, right here. Well, yeah. I saw that right here. Rents ends right here. So basically, these 2 pages up to here. Well, I mean, I had sporadically, I had an unk because these are easy to do in unk. But then the rest was, you know, these 2 pages here were all messed up, ugly, average circulated coins. And I want to avoid that as much as possible. And here we start the business strikes. Philadelphia. And then there were no proof strikes no proof issues in 55, 66, 67, so they did special min sets. I wish that Dansco would have those, but you know me. I include those. Here's a 68 proof. And then this is a clad, no silver. No silver in that, just clad proof. Cupro nickel clad proof. So, how many of you, I like to ask in all my videos, how many of you are doing this Dansco in unk? If you have fellow numismatists like Mr. Parker that gives you encouragement to do it in unk, by all means, man, do it in unk. Because like I said, an album, especially in a Dansco, nice quality Dansco, you know, when you look at an unk album, it's so much more enjoyable. Really. I mean, yeah, it's one thing. I mean, you just want to do silver, but if you get them in unk, and you do the 32 DNS in unk even, they should perform well for you on the market. So... 71S proof. Let's go through these a little bit quicker. It's an unk, that's the BU, and that's the proof strike, both 40%ers. And you can see that they're all unk, so I don't want to... I love the bicentennial. That's actually a cool quarter. That reverse is tight. I like that. They did. That's tight. I like that. It's one of my favorite designs in a quarter. Very, very, very sweet. And you know that 79 and 81, they did type 1 and type 2. But Dansco doesn't have a port for the type 2, so I'm going to portray it in the very, very last page. Beautiful album toning. Dealer's inventory toning on the Philadelphia's. Denver's of 82 and 83. Clad proof, San Francisco. And these are all 100, definitely all these are all 100% unk. I mean, the entire album is unk, but like I said, from 65 to the end, especially, those are very, very easy to do and uncirculated. Very easy. Like the blues and the purples, that's tight. I like how each coin has its own personality, you know? Just like all of us. There are no two people in the entire beautiful God's created earth that are alike. We're all different. And that's the same way I see my beautiful coins. Each one has its own personality. Now, starting in 92, the mint started doing what's called silver proofs. Starting in 92. 90% silver. Let's see, in 91, there was only clad proofs. Let's see, clad proofs. Then in 92, the silver proofs kicked in, along with the clad proofs. Beautiful toning on the 93 from Philadelphia. Sweet coins, man, sweet coins. I don't want to show you. I mean, like I said, if you do seriously want to see the obverse, up close detail on obverse, reverse, or any particular one, please do let me know. But I do want to take my time on my videos, but then again, at the same time, I value your time. And I'm very thankful that you made the effort to stop by and watch my channel. Now, like I said, 65, 66, and 67, special mint set. So these three here because they didn't do proof. Those are from Special Mint set, SMS as they call them. And here's my Type 2 or Variety 2 81S proof, because Dansco was stupid that day and said, well, we don't have a port for it, so I made my own. And in 98 is when the heraldic eagle, when this eagle was done. And then we went to statehood quarters. Now, this is a supplement page that I bought. It's just a stock page for Washington quarters. Because you know me, I like to be complete. And there are some issues here that are proof that Dansco doesn't have ports officially labeled for them. So this is technically the last page of this album when you get it from Dansco Corporation. Okay. And I added this one so that I can include some of my others that are very, very, very important to the series. And these are my proof issues. 50. And there are no, let's see, where's 50? There is no, see, before, they're not even listed here. Son of a gun. So, like I said, because they're tough, these early proof sets are very expensive. So I can understand why Dansco doesn't include them, but you know me, I have to include them. It bugs me because they are part of the Washington Quarter series. And then, my friends, what they did from 56 to 64, they have the B reverse. The 56 was the last one that I needed, hence why I'm also technically shooting this video, that I wanted to get an Unk. And one of my buddies, Joe Durbin, found one for me. So I was able to successfully add that Unk B reverse. I'm going to explain to you in a minute what that means and the B reverses. So these are all 9 issues from 56 to 64. All B reverses. So that's it with that. Now let me quickly explain to you folks. I pulled this from one of my favorite sources on the internet, PCGS Coinfax, I believe. And professional numismatist Jamie Hernandez explains what the B reverse is. All struck in Philadelphia. These quarters here, okay? From 56 to 64, the Philadelphia Mint inadvertently struck some circulation strike Washington quarters with a reverse design intended for proofs. Okay, the reverse. All regular circulation strike Washington quarters from 56 to 64 will have a reverse design displaying the letters ES of states very close to each other and almost touching. That's important. So this is where he starts breaking it down. A 57 proof Washington quarter is different since it will display the letters ES of states separated from one another. But still, they're all B reverses. Consequently, any circulation strike quarters from 56 to 64 which displays a proof design is referred to as a Type B reverse quarter. These beautiful ones here. The 57B reverse is probably hundreds of times scarcer regular than the 57 Washington quarters. The 57B reverse quarters is the most easily obtainable of all the 9 different Type B silver Washington quarter varieties. It's very difficult to determine which Type B Washington quarters are ultimately the scarcest or the most common from all the 9 different dates. But as time goes by, the PCGS population report should be a very good indicator. That's true. Which states within the B reverse are actually the most common and the scarcest of all. We're hoping that people submit them. But that's tight. So I thank you, Mr. Durbin. It's pretty chilly, brother, to remember me and find that for me. And I paid a very, very fair competitive price relative to what I've seen elsewhere. So this album is done 100%. It's all in unk. It includes all the clad proofs and silver proofs. Okay. With time, I will upgrade maybe when I can the ones that are a little bit unsightly, darker in color. Some I may hold on to. I probably won't upgrade or replace my 62 out of Philadelphia, because how beautiful, that's an original album toning. I love it. So anyway, I wanted to quickly show you on the gray sheet what I mean. So thanks again, J. Parker Stacker and Mr. Durbin, for helping this kid do this album the way I want to do all my Danscos. Now, this is the October issue of the gray sheet. And here we see, my friends, the 32. So 60 starts right here. So this is where yours truly did the 6 and above. I mean, these are all circulated. So check this out. See, the Philadelphia is common. It's not a key. And here we get stupid money. No, I didn't pay that much for my unk. Out of Denver, I got a much better deal from a local coin shop. But look, see, this is what I mean, man. You know, if you want to do a 63, see, gray sheet doesn't even report 61 or 62. Look at that, 780 and 60, and in 63 they want 1,200. See, jump. Look like how huge it is. And this is a good example, right? This is also what's called a conditional rarity, but that's a DDO. Double dyed obverse. So, I mean, like I said, to get these in unk, many of these are hard in unk. You know, why they do the DDO FS101, I mean, I get it, because they're very popular double dyed obverses. But you can see here where it gets stupid expensive to go from one technical grade to another on the Sheldon scale. So that's why, you know, and budget is limited. So you got to be careful what you do, because, you know, you don't want to pay 63, 64 money. So the lower the grade, you'll be okay. But if you get into higher competitive grades like 66, 67, it needs to be slapped by NGC, PCGS. Of course, everything is an opinion, but getting it slapped with PCGS, NGC, especially when it comes to conditional rarities and higher grade, you might want to consider getting those slapped so that you get that more and more official from PCGS or NGC or ANAX. So anyway, brothers and sisters, I hope that you enjoy this video. This is Dansco's stock album 8140 for Washington quarters, including the proofs, from 1932 to 1998. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments below, please leave them below. And thank you for your time. You all be kind to each other. Take care of each other. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.